ones, empaths, you have to understand that there's a big difference in being discarded and the person doing the discarding. There's a huge difference, right? Now, you see, the narcissist will start to miss you after the discard, right? And it happens roughly around the same time. They'll go through this process of starting to miss you. But you see, from your side of things, being on the receiving end of a discard, it makes you deal with the finality of the relationship. You see, you go through extreme hurt initially. You know that feeling when you're first discarded, you don't know where to turn, you're completely broken, you're devastated. You know, that pain that you endure during that initial period, even though you may still feel stuck now, but like if you reflect back on that initial discard, you know, it was so hurtful. You see, it was so hurtful. You know, maybe you was going through where you can't eat, can't sleep, uncontrollable tears, you know. But the thing is beyond your comprehension, you know, as days pass, and it's not that time heals, but through time you learn how to deal with it. You know, you do start to heal. You know, you kind of accept the ending of the relationship. You come to terms with it. You know, you basically accept, okay, the relationship's over. This person doesn't want to be is not interested, and they've discarded you, right? And you basically come to terms with that in your mind, in your subconscious mind, and you come to terms with that. But you see, you know, on the flip side, the narcissist going through doing the discard, when they do the discard to you, I'm not trying to trigger you now, but they are extremely relieved, you know, when they discard, you know. But they do want you to continue to chase. So they're extremely relieved, but they do want you to chase. And that's why all of you collectively, you know, if you go through a discard, I know you know, the natural inclination is to problem solve, as empaths like to do, is to fix the problem, is to fix the issue, is to try and have closure, and because they do leave you with a lack of closure, and that's kind of a baiting tactic that they often do. Narcissists that are involved in your life will leave you without the closure, so it leaves you kind of pursuing them and chasing after them to kind of search for that closure. But really, realistically, the closure comes from within, and you'll learn that with time. You will learn that with time, that the closure comes from in, and you don't actually need closure from a narcissist. So you see the difference here. You know, you're completely broken, devastated, uncontrollable tears, can't eat, can't sleep, and the narcissist is relieved that they've done the discard. You know, they're actually pleased with themselves. They're enjoying it. They're glad they discarded you. You see, but if you don't chase after them and you stay no contact, this works in your favor. Now, you know, I know you, like I was saying, I know you may feel like you need closure, but you have to stay no contact and let them get on with it. You know, accept the discard as what it is. They've made out they want nothing to do with you. You know, I know they leave baiting tactics like leading you on and things like that, right? I'm fully aware of that. But take it as what it is. They've discarded you, right? If you play no contact, you don't communicate with them, or if you've got children, you just communicate through a parallel parenting app. You know, it's called parallel parenting. You just communicate through an app, and you just talk solely about the children, and you don't no longer talk about your relationship, you and them, nothing like that. That's just as powerful. But for those that don't have children, you know, go no contact, don't communicate with them, leave them to it, accept the discard as what it is, right? You know, so you can see there's a big difference in when the discard occurs between the empath and the narcissist that's involved in your life. There's a big difference. They feel relieved, you feel devastated. Please press the like and the subscribe button. Help your brother out. It will take 2 seconds of your time. Just like this video is showing up for you. Help with the algorithm. Help it show up for someone else in the community that it may be of benefit to. Please remember, if you would like me to shed some light on your personal situation, you can always reach out and book a one-to-one session with me. The link is in the description box below. But there is something you have to understand, and it's called the fade and effect bias, right? You've got to understand, whatever this narcissist told you is highly likely they were manipulating, right? So whatever they've told you the reason for the discard was, if you even got a reason, that is, right? Many of you might not even have a reason at all. Sometimes they tell you a reason. Oh, it's because you done this. Oh, it's because you didn't do that, or whatever, right? Whatever they told you, right? Even if that is a part truth, a lot of the time it's just a pure manipulation and a pure, escape route. And they're just trying, not escape route, but they're trying, to shift blame onto you, make you self-sabotage, make you feel regretful, and like wanting and kind of baiting you to like fix your ways. So you start trying to problem solve, saying, look, I can, I won't do that again, or things like that, right? A lot of you might not have even had any words of the reason why the discard happened, and it more happened in a ghosting way, right? But what you need to understand is, in the narcissist's mind, they must have had they had some kind of, they're trying to draw you out, they're trying to provoke you, they're trying to hurt you, but if there was anything lingering in the mind of the narcissist, right, of the reason why they discarded you, you have to understand something called the fade and effect bias. Now, at the moment of the discard, it's very heightened, right? Their issue that with you was a problem or whatever, right? And they go through with this, and that's why I'm telling you it's crucial that you don't pursue after them, because this will delay the fade and effect bias kicking in, right? If you let the narcissist just go and get on with their journey, you carry on with your life, you accept the discard as what it is, it's the end of the relationship, within several weeks, right, all of the negative attributes they were placing of the relationship to do with you will begin to fade after as quickly as several weeks. This will start to fade. And remember, like, they don't have anything bad to remember you by. Narcissists that are involved in your life, you've done good by them, you're supportive, you're the best you could possibly be. You're not perfect, but you've done the best by them that you could possibly do by your capabilities at the time. So they don't really have anything of substance to dislike you over, to hate you over. It's not like you're abusive. It's not like, you wronged them, So this fade and effect bias kicks in, and, even if you did do something that you feel is wrong, even with that, the fade and effect bias will still kick in, and they'll start to feel relief from the reasons for why they were discarding you. So they start to remember the fond memories of you. They start to remember the good times, and the negative stuff gets pushed to one side. And this is called the fade and effect bias. You should do some research on the fade and effect bias. But this will take about several weeks for this to kick in, right? Another thing that they will start to go through, it might take a few months for this to happen. It could happen sooner. It could happen later. But the narcissist that was involved in your life will go through dumper's remorse, you see. And it's at this point, so the fade and effect bias combined with the dumper's remorse, right, is, so as you're improving, so you're in that place, you was devastated, couldn't eat, couldn't sleep, uncontrollable tears, broken, right? And you began to gradually start to heal and improve, and you started to get, along in your journey, right? Even if you still feel, hurt and stuff and betrayed, you're getting through your day, you're getting on with your life. You're improving even beyond your comprehension, right? But the thing is they're going backwards. They're suffering with this fade and effect bias. Now the dumper's remorse that kicks in, right? And dumper's remorse is basically self-absorbed. It's from a narcissist perspective. It would be self-absorbed remorse, kind of reanalyzing their reasons for discarding you. You see, um, thinking, that, like, regretting their decisions, self-absorbed regret in their decisions. So they're going backwards now. You know, they went through their ecstatic phase where they were satisfied. Where they were extremely relieved with the discard, and now they've slipped into the fade and effects bias after several weeks, and maybe in a few months, say a month to few months, the dumper's remorse starts to kick in, and you're starting to improve now, but they're going backwards, right? So they're dealing with regrets now on top of the fade and effects bias, right? They're also most likely, because they're narcissists, they've met new suppliers that are not as good, right? They've run into toxic new suppliers, other narcissists, and this is kind of reinforcing the fact, that they made a wrong decision, and this is when they're going to start to miss you. They're going to start to feel an absence from you, and this starts to consume them. This really starts to consume them. They're feeling this absence, they're feeling this void. The fade and effects bias has kicked in, the dumper's remorse is kicking in. They're regretting their decisions. They've often burnt bridges. They've often been so horrible towards you that they don't actually know how to pave the way to actually repair the bridge. Some of them might attempt to with hoovers or provoking or baiting, or doing some kind of toxic things to try and draw you out, or even reverse hoovers where they maintain silence to try and draw you out so you contact them. Please stay in no contact. Do not contact them. This is what is occurring in the mind of the narcissist that was involved in your life. Don't believe the fantasies you see on social media with them glorifying the new supply and all of this, right? It's highly likely to live another narcissist or another toxic individual. They're dealing with the fade and effects bias, and they're also dealing with, the dumper's remorse. So this is consuming them, but never let this be the reason why you let them back in. Never let this be the reason why it comes back in. So you got to understand, never let this be the reason why you let them back in. This is self-absorbed remorse. This is self-absorbed guilt. This is self-absorbed. It's feeling sorry for themselves, because they're in a shit situation now, and you was great to them, and they're with a dusty new supply, some dusty new supply that's not cutting it, and all of this is reinforcing the fact that that they made a dreadful mistake in discarding you, right? So they begin to internalize this very deeply. They begin to suffer with severe rumination about this. It consumes them. It takes over their mind, heart, and soul. And they'll try with new suppliers to try and, how can I say, mask the pain, or mask the wound, of the pain that they're feeling. But it doesn't work. These new suppliers won't cut it. But never let them back in because they're facing this. Don't feel bad for them. Don't feel sorry for them. They wasn't feeling bad for you when you was in uncontrollable tears, not eating, not sleeping. They was relieved when they discarded you. They was enjoying it. They was enjoying seeing you suffer. They wanted you to chase after them and pursue them. They was enjoying it. So now they're in a hurt position. Leave them to it. Let them face the repercussions of their actions, So you got to understand that this narcissist will start to miss you, within several weeks with the fade and effects bias that will start to make them forget about the negative things of the relationship and remember the good times. And then a month to 3 months, they're going to start to remember the dumper's remorse is going to start to kick in. So you got to understand that being discarded initially, you deal with the finality of it. You go through extreme hurt initially, can't sleep, can't eat, uncontrollable tears, but you begin to heal and you begin to go forward. You see, the narcissist, is extremely satisfied and relieved at this point when they've done the discard at that initial point, but you're going on and healing, that relief is short-lived. It doesn't really stay with them, but this is why I say no contact, because if you don't chase that really adds salt to the wound. You know, if you don't chase after them, you know, that this quickens up the whole process. So if you have chased after them, it's okay, but just get into the pattern now of not chasing after them or not pursuing them, and all of this will come into effect. You know, so if you stay no contact, it works in your favor. I know you may feel like you need closure from them. You honestly don't need closure from them. Closure comes from with yourself. I've spoken to many victims of narcissistic abuse. They've all got closure from their own self. You know, also seeing a narcissist go through this dumper's remorse and fade and effects bias, and with a dusty new supply, that's your closure. You know, it shows that they've messed up. You know, all of this is proven in psychology. You know, the fade and effects bias, dumper's remorse, this all occurs within the psyche of the narcissist that was involved in your life. You know, so it's several weeks of fade and effect bias, a month or a few months for dumper's remorse. So you're going to improve. They go backwards and begin to regret their decisions. And on top of all of this, they're faced with some dusty new supply that's not as good as you. You know, and this consumes them, you know, it takes over their heart, mind, and soul. So just make sure you never let them back in and let them face the repercussions of their actions. So anyway, enhance your experience, get access to exclusive unseen videos and personal video requests. There's a 3-day free trial and can be cancelled at any time by going to your account page. Thanks for listening today. Please press the like and the subscribe button. If you want to donate, you don't have to, but if you'd like to support the channel, you can. Links in the description box below. For more narcissism-based content, check out our other channel, links in the description box. Please visit the forums. One of them is Tips to Heal, and I'd love to find out what helps you on your journey. Please book a healing session with me if you need advice or some light shed on your situation. The Empath Monthly group meeting is coming up at the end of the month. Limited space is available. There's a WhatsApp group for survivors to stay in touch. I'm also doing email consultations if you need a plan of action. The links for all I've mentioned are in the description box below. I'd like to know about No More Drama. Thankfully they're gone. Click this video here. So anyway, I'll be back with another video soon. Peace.